Well, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Take 5. We're in Leviticus 7, and we usually start in verse 1, but I'm actually going to go all the way down to verse 22, and you can read the whole thing yourself if you want. The Lord said to Moses, "Say to the Israelites, do not eat any of the fat of cattle, sheep, or goats. The fat of an animal found dead or torn by wild animals may be used for any other purpose, but you must not eat it." All right, we'll stop right there. God didn't want them eating the fat. I'm not sure why, but he just said don't do it. And he said when you find an animal that's been torn by another animal or dead, you don't eat that fat. Actually, they weren't even supposed to eat animals that were found dead like that. You can read on and find that. Anyway, probably for health reasons, but we really don't know. Verse 25, anyone who eats the fat of an animal from which a food offering may be presented to the Lord. Now see, they could present it to God that way, but they weren't supposed to eat it. Must be cut off from their people. All right, so you couldn't, and perhaps that's what this is talking to. You just can't eat fat from these animals that are supposed to be presented to God. You just got to give God the whole thing. Verse 26, and wherever you live, you must not eat the blood of any bird or animal. Anyone who eats blood must be cut off from their people. And that meant anything. You could not eat blood from anywhere. And that's just good advice. Don't be eating blood from things. And the reason why is the blood was what was considered the life of an animal. And of course, when Christ shed his blood, he shed his life for us, didn't he? He gave his life for us. So you don't want to be eating blood. All right, verse 28, the Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, anyone who brings a fellowship offering to the Lord is to bring part of it as their sacrifice to the Lord. With their own hands, they are to present the food offering to the Lord. They are to bring the fat together with the breast and wave the breast before the Lord as a wave offering. The priest shall burn the fat on the altar, but the breast belongs to Aaron and his sons. You are to give the right thigh of your fellowship offerings to the priest of the contribution. The son of Aaron who offers the blood and the fat of the fellowship offering shall have the right thigh as his share. All right, and here is just making sure the priests are taken care of. Priests got to eat too, right? And priests they're busy actually doing the worship, offering these things. They can't get out and go get them. So they're saying, look, when you present this stuff, you give the breast and the right thigh to the priest. And that's the best part anyway. So God taking care of his priests. God takes care of his leaders. All right, he always does. Hey, we're going to be in chapter 8 next time. All right, so interesting stuff, I think. Look, we will get into more interesting stuff as we get going. Further down, we got to get through Leviticus and Numbers. Deuteronomy is much, much more interesting to you. But you may find some of this stuff interesting. I don't know. But I'm glad you watched, and wish I could see you. And I got to see you this week, unfortunately. But hey, have a great day. We'll talk tomorrow on the next edition of Take 5.